Giallo friends, do you know what a pinsa is? It is crispy on the outside and soft and melty on the inside. But anyway, the images really speak for themselves. Are you ready to make some together? Come on, let's go. Let's start with the dough. Pour the flour into a large bowl. This flour mix is specific for making pinsa. It contains a mixture of durum wheat flour, soybean flour, and rice flour, and you can easily find it in stores. However, you can also make your own mix at home. What makes this mix unique is that it can support high levels of hydration. I'll add the fresh brewer's yeast, which I've already crumbled, and start pouring in the water. You can see the water is very cold, so that the dough won't warm up too much. And start kneading. Now, with the help of a dough scraper, I will transfer the dough onto the countertop and start to knead the dough on the counter. Be really patient with it. As you are getting started, the dough will be very coarse, but no need to worry. And don't rush it, because when you are in a rush, the yeast notices. Now, here's something that can help you incorporate the rest of the ingredients into the dough. We will transfer our lovely dough, which has already become a fairly acceptable shape, into a bowl. With the help of a knife, make 3 cute little cuts on the surface. Then add the salt and the oil, and I will pour in the remaining water, also cold. Like with all high hydration doughs, the water must be added in little by little, otherwise it simply becomes a big mess. Just another few drops, and we'll let that absorb in. And we will continue to knead our dough. We need to obtain a nice smooth ball of dough. All our ingredients have been absorbed into the dough. I used a bowl for convenience, but now let me show you how large and lovely our ball of dough has turned out. And now, let me demonstrate another method to help give the dough some structure. See how it is already smoother? It's still not as smooth as I want it to be though, so we will cover it and let it rest for 15 minutes. Sprinkle a little bit of flour on top. Fold it a few times. That way, we will close it up well. And give it a good rounding out. Now lightly grease the inside of a bowl, and we will transfer it in. Now our dough must double in size. This will take a couple of hours resting at room temperature. After the 2 hours are up, we'll refrigerate it for another 24 hours. If you want to refrigerate the dough for 48 hours, remember to halve the amount of yeast. The dough has risen well. Look at how nice. Now, it's time for us to shape our pinzas. I have already added some semolina onto a scale. That way, the dough won't stick. Get your hands moistened nicely. So, I will take a portion of the dough. Then, moving just like this, I will pinch it off, just like a mozzarella. Place it on the scale, and we want it to weigh 250 grams. And now, I'll show you how to close them. So, grab an edge and bring it to the center. The other side, bring it to the center. Pinch it together and turn it. And do the same thing again, pulling it lightly. The first pinza is ready. Let it rise for another 3 hours and continue like this with the rest. Everything's ready. The dough has risen well. Now, I will take my pizza spatula and cover it in some semolina. This way, my spatula won't stick to the dough. And with a swift and decisive motion, transfer it directly onto the semolina. Give it a good dusting, and we can start to spread it out. Look at that! Do you see how much air we were able to carefully preserve? Let's try to spread it into something oval-shaped. Place one hand underneath and now the other. Shake off the excess and transfer it onto the pizza peel. Now your first tries might not turn out beautiful, but they'll definitely be yummy. Let's start with a classic margherita. Top it with some tomato sauce and a drizzle of olive oil. Let the crust cook with the sauce for about 7 minutes. As soon as it starts to brown, add the mozzarella. Put it in the oven and set it to grill mode at maximum power. For our pizza to be crunchy underneath and well dimpled, it must receive a boost from below. so we decided to cook it on a pizza stone, which we have heated for an hour. Wow, how lovely! The tomato crust is cooked. Add the mozzarella, and then put it back in the oven for another minute and a half. And now we can go crazy with the toppings. Make a nice white base, give it a drizzle of oil, and we can bake it. As soon as it has become golden brown, like this, I'll top it with some burrata, some mortadella, and also with some pistachio pesto. What a sight! To host a pinsa party, done the right way, you need to have a lot of creativity. A nice pinsa parmigiana and one with sausage and turnip greens. In the comments, write and let me know your favorite toppings. Please do make this at home. And now, it's time for a taste. I will choose this one, which I actually like the least. My mouth is watering. Guys, it's so good. Really good.